There you are. Welcome back to the latest head-spinning installment of the most disturbing TikToks on the internet today. For context, don't believe everything you hear or see on this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. My goodness, we got an absolute banger of an episode for you today. With that being said, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hype your boy up if possible. Now let's dive straight in.
Reason number 70 simulation. What if I told you the whole reason number 77 we're living in a simulation? What if I told you the whole Charlie Kirk tragedy already happened exactly 27 years ago? This is gonna f*** your mind. So there's a movie from 1998 called Snake Eyes starring Nicolas Cage, in which a political figure named Charles Kirkland, that's his actual name in the movie, gets by a sniper in the neck in the exact same spot as Charlie Kirk at a public event. Now, in the opening scene of the movie, there's a sign for this event that shows us it also took place on September 10th, the same day it happened, during a boxing event headlined by a boxer named Tyler the Executioner. Tyler Robinson is being accused of committing the execution in real life. During the scene, Cage is heard asking about his lucky number, while we see someone holding up a giant 7. Recently, Elon Musk announced that every spacecraft launched in 2026 will bear the number 77 as a tribute to Charlie Kirk. Why 77? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. If it wasn't obvious enough, there's also this massive all-seeing eye on a blimp or something watching the entire sequence of events go down. That's because the movie is called Snake Eyes, and 2025 also happens to be the year of the snake. Promotional posters for the film feature the tagline, "Believe everything except your eyes." Oh, and it was also filmed in the Trump Hotel in Atlantic City. Believe everything except your eyes. I don't even know how else anyone could possibly explain this. Simulation confirmed.
Has anybody seen this movie and can confirm that is real? I never seen Snake Eyes, but that is absolutely insane if that's true. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What exactly is going on here?
You ever seen an actual demon manifesting? You're about to.
We're gonna push it. We're gonna see how far we can push it. I was not kidding when I said if you were gonna get the job done, there were two better candidates. And furthermore, when that happens, and it will. It will. Not only will we be insensitive, that'll be the least of your worries. But it's gonna be the biggest fucking celebration, the biggest, most beautiful celebration on planet Earth. On planet Earth right now. The entire planet is gonna celebrate when he takes the turn. Finally.
I have seen many demons manifest live and in person, and I am telling you right now, that's what it looks like. Notice that she refers to herself as we, just like in the Bible when the demonized man came before Jesus and when interrogated about his name, he said, "We are legion, for we are many." This is not a joke. This is spiritual war. The people celebrating this are demon possessed. They're influenced by demons, and that is why even people who don't have the Spirit of God in them can tell that something is seriously wrong with this.
There's a paper published in a science magazine that says they've invented contact lenses that can see in the dark. But that's not even the fantastic part about it. These contact lenses have not been able to be pushed out in the market yet because they say that with them, you can see dark entities that you can't see with the naked eye. I'm not even joking. So basically, how does this work? The people that are testing it, 90% of them have left the test because they got scared. They're horrified. What happened is, while they're testing the contact lenses, they say that not only you can see perfectly in the dark, okay, cool, but that there were beings that were dark with glowing eyes and elongated fingers. Then another guy said that if he closed his eyes, he could still see these entities through his eyelids. I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, meaning I know that you can do it with your third eye. I just don't understand how these contacts work, that you can do that. But anyway, and then another really weird, insane thing is that they can't put them on the market until they figure out how they can only see in the dark. Because apparently we're surrounded by creatures, and the last tester, again, this is all alleged, I wasn't there, the last tester said that she saw this dark entity that lunged at her, but then passed right through her body. So we're basically surrounded by these dark entities with glowing eyes and elongated fingers, and we're walking around them all day long, and you can't detect them, and so you don't know. Good thing is, if they jump you, they go right through your body, and you don't even know. So, what do you all think about that? That's something new.
That's pretty disturbing. Now I'm going to be swinging at the air trying to catch one.
How's your phone work? Your cell phone, tell me how it works. This was the other bitchiness that I got from people over and over again. They're like, well, all you're doing is saying, how does your phone work? No, I'm trying to draw your attention to literal tech metrics. I don't know where my phone went. So that you understand how easy it is to log into you and make a change. So, how did we get to this point where all these good people in radio frequency, etc., that they don't know shit about what we're actually doing in the human body? And in order to explain all of this, I've had to make a gazillion signs. I've had to come back out here over and over again. And I've been trying to figure out why it is, there's my phone, that nobody else seems to know these things. Okay? This is my great uncle's folder from Shepherd Air Force Base. I often also show his Aberdeen Proving Ground stuff. That's my little pink book, wherever it's hiding at the moment. And then I also go over his old notes with flux density notation with Mercury and whatnot. Why? So that people understand that this has been going on for a really long time. So tell me how your phone works. When you click a button and you send an email, you don't see the email leave the phone. It's a wireless, invisible signal. Just like your body. It's a body part. So when I worked at UW Whitewater, for my job, I found IBM software that they alleged was also used way back when Fauci and them wanted to get their shit off the ground for attacking the human immune system. Well, if you don't know that the human immune system is 80% your biofield, you called it the aura, you called it stupid. Yeah, I know. That's because 6,000 years of human telemetry, chiropractic, and the rest of it for your circulatory system just magically disappeared. Nobody has any idea what's going on. That was 6,000 years of the human circulatory system. You call it chakras. Yeah, they call it aim and fire. 150 years ago, Aleister Crowley and people, yeah, nothing's real except what you can see. There is no biofield. There's no cymatics, there's no radionics, there's no plasmonics. There's nothing except what you can see. Well, that's a body part that's responsible for 80% of our immune system. How do we know for sure? The definition at Children's Hospital, the organs and tissues that comprise the immune system, the thymus, the bone marrow, the lymphatic, your vessels, your spleen, and your skin. And so I'm like, yeah, the human biofield being watched by Project Salus. So the human biofield is the aura, is your W band, 802.15.6. Department of Defense Directive 3000.09, everything is autonomous. And you have an MQ-9 Reaper drone attached to your skin and bone. Now, that's a big bird for those of you that... How's your phone work?
Extremely disturbing stuff. If you ever wonder why you're seeing ads or your phone just happens to know what you're thinking, this may be a reason why.
Look what's inside. You guys want to look? Open this box. Look what's inside. You guys want to look? This right here, that's not just wiring. That's a nerve cluster. A bundled spine of signal veins, phone, Wi-Fi, surveillance. Every one of us is pulsing through these lines. This isn't just a street corner. It's a neural node for the whole city grid. And it's wide open. No lock, no warning, just humming. passing your data down the line like livestock.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beams, though, not this crude matter.
Open this box, look what's inside. Alright, listen up guys, this isn't just a palm tree, of course, this is a fake ass disguise. Hiding one of the dirtiest signal towers in the whole field, guys. And right next to it, this is the real beast. See that? This is a SVA master node. Both.
You can hear that boy humming, can't you? They hacking biofields like a mug.
These are working together. One hides, one blasts. Latitude, because it's important for the grid. It's all mapped. So why the freaking crazy coconuts?
I want you to have a look at this beautiful Tartarian cabinet. Absolute masterpiece here. And ask yourself, why do we not build things like this nowadays? How could you possibly believe the lie that we've been sold that tells us we're the most advanced civilization to ever exist? That is complete garbage, complete lie. We pay for electricity. We pay to live. It makes zero sense. These people were far more advanced than we are. They had access to technology that only the elites keep buried underground because they won't give it to us because they want to keep us enslaved. By thinking that we're the most advanced civilization to ever exist, they keep you enslaved. It's a lie. It is complete garbage. We can't build like this. Who can build this? Like, who can actually do this? This is the thing. Everyone was able to do this back in the day. Keep your mind open, guys. Everything that these people built was with purpose and intent. All of these old buildings that you see, they all were built to harness energy from the ether to convert it into free electricity. That's why you see the resonators and the antennas at the top of these buildings. These antennas would harness the energy. There would be Mercury, which would spin, creates a current, goes down into the building, free electricity. That's why all these buildings on the top, they're all gold plated as well. The best conductor of energy. They built everything with intention. All you guys need to do is think. Look what's right in front of you. The truth is in plain sight. You just need to open your eyes. That's it. The truth is so beautiful. These were all built as sound healing centers as well, guys. And the real undeniable truth to everything in this reality is found within. Peace and love.
Barbarians and airships.
The more we dig, the more we find. Here we have an image of a diploma for the American Pacific Exposition and Oriental Fair for Portland, Oregon in 1905. So 1904, they have the St. Louis World's Fair. 1 year after, we get this one in Oregon. This diploma is very interesting. As we go down to the bottom, we have a photo, and we can clearly see in the background 2 airships, both looking different. They normally don't show this form of transportation in these photos. They normally blank out the sky. But as we look up all of these countries, we see the big ones, and then we see Caucasia. Have any of us heard of a country in the 1900s named Caucasia? I personally have never heard of Caucasia, which is similar to Tartaria. All of these countries that we were never told about. But this one wasn't hundreds of years ago. This was 1905. So they are now, in my opinion, lying and telling us that Caucasia, or Caucasus, is a region that has a bunch of countries in it, including Russia, which we all know have connections to Tartaria. But let's take a look at this list again from 1905. They are already listing Russia on this map with Turkey, France, Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Italy. All of these are countries. They are not regions. I'll say it again. These are countries. Why would they then throw a region in there randomly? That doesn't make any sense. I think we are finding, in my opinion, that there is more land that we aren't being told about that was here in the 1900s. And I think Caucasia is being hidden from us right now. We were talking about Caucasia. Really quick, I want to just throw this in here. That there is another country that is clearly blurred out. I wonder if we weren't supposed to see that one. So we were given a photo with the airships in the background in the sky. So I went digging and found this photo from 1905, World's Fair in Oregon, showing more airships. And since I haven't really covered this topic yet on this channel, in my opinion, and a few others, this form of travel was all over the place. It wasn't just created in the 1800s, and the Hindenburg event was used as a scare tactic to make these airships look faulty removing this free energy form of transportation technology out of our lives. Do you really think that they put a gas in these airships that would be so incredibly flammable and fly them over massive cities? Or does it make more sense that this Hindenburg event was a planned event to get rid of this free form of travel and wipe it from the history books? Here we have a photo of one of these airships sitting in between the two spires of the old world building. You can see that they use these spires to electrically charge these airships, and this was common knowledge. And in the very next photo, it's leaving the port. We are not given the truth about our history. This isn't something that we are ever told about in our mainstream schooling system all over the world. Do you find that odd? Let's keep digging. We see that the US Army had this technology in the 1800s, as well as the Navy. Now, this is a photo from July of 1931, and we clearly have an airship charging at the thing. So we have a lot going on here, and this was within the last 100 years. An airship charging at the top of this tower. Did you think they only charged at the top of buildings? Of course not. They had charging docks in the middle of the water. Here we have a photo of the US Navy airship in 1924, charging from this boat. Now let's zoom in on this charging station to get a good look at what's going on here. Now this is a technology that we were never told about. This is hidden from our timeline, a clear proof that there is much more to the story than what we've been told, especially since this was not thousands of years ago, and shows how easily history can be rewritten. This technology should be common knowledge at this point. Here we have another angle in Rhode Island of the charging taking place. These airships were not powered by gas or simply helium. And if we switch angles here, we can actually see the charging tool that was used right at the top of this tower. They're clearly about to connect to the airship. So this, in my opinion, is clearly explaining what's going on at the top of these old world buildings. They were charging stations for the airships. They have the same features, and I guarantee you that they still turn on, since this was not that long ago. And I'm going to take this time right now to answer a lot of people's question. Will we ever find the truth? As we keep uncovering more and more documented evidence, we're going to find that the previous civilization was not that far in the past. And our current structures hold so much more technology than we ever truly understood. So in my opinion, yes, we are going to find the truth about all of this. We are uncovering the truth faster and faster. And this community gets bigger and bigger, with more and more people sharing their thoughts and knowledge. Mainstream history is becoming comedy hour at this point. So we can clearly see that these buildings all around the world may have had a second purpose, but they were without a doubt here to generate free energy for airships. And once you realize this, then we can go deeper and ask the question, was the previous civilization capable of using these buildings to power their flight that were so much more powerful, so much faster, and so much more incredible than an airship? I believe that they fully understood this technology. They were the ones that constructed it. They had this technology and were able to travel through the air so much faster than we can today, while using the Earth's natural energy. These buildings are technology. They are able to extract the energy and are able to turn it into a fuel. If you're looking for a why, a motive to suppress this technology, well, it would 100% benefit a civilization, us. It's free. There is zero benefit to free transportation, free energy. Do we need to go further for the why? So when you go around your town now and see the top of these buildings, we can all understand how popular this form of transportation really was. It was everywhere. Now we have talked about Tartaria. We have shown in this episode in the beginning how there are possibly more countries and more land, such as Caucasia. So we have Tartaria, but we also have Barbaria, where you would get the term barbarians. And of course, again, have any of us heard of a place called Barbaria in history class? Maybe you have now. But in mainstream history, this is not something that is taught to us. We're not being told the truth about any of this. And we have many maps of a land called Barbaria. And I believe that these maps are from the previous civilization. They are not presented to us in the mainstream history. So it's our job to go find them in places that are not easily accessible. And in order to find something, you have to know what you're looking for. Thankfully, we do. And then we have this map from the early 1800s showing a land that was to the east of Portugal, that was named Barbaria, that is no longer there. It was south of France, Italy. So where did this land go? Also, this map shows that Barbaria had islands. And are these points on the map ley lines? What an incredible map to look at. Obviously, an event took place very recently, definitely proving that we've had land here that is no longer here. These maps are so detailed, yet these places are no longer here. And we have this group on the map who are most likely a depiction of the barbarians. Oh, and should I tie it back in with the airships? Can we just zoom in? Right above this disproportionate guy with the red and green on? What is above his head in the sky? That wouldn't be an airship, would it? You tell me. And if anyone can read that in whatever language it's written in, I'd love to know what it says in the comments below. Now, I emailed this company that I'm going to keep hidden, but with a little digging, we can all figure out who this is. But I emailed them, and they purchased the architecture firm Bradley & Bradley. Since they're an existing architecture firm, and it's not from thousands of years ago, they should have the construction photos of the National Guard Armory. Thankfully, we do. And then we have this map from the early 1800s showing, but again, we are given another response that fits into what we're talking about here, that these are not the actual builders of these structures. If they built it, they would have at least one picture of construction. But time and time again, as we have documented here so many times, they never have this on record. So they replied to me saying, "We acquired Bradley & Bradley, architects and engineers, in 2016, and I have not come across any construction photos from the National Guard Armory in their files." So they go on to say to contact the Rockford Public Library to see if they have it. And then 2 sentences later, saying that I believe this information is currently being held at the Hart Interim Library during construction of the new downtown library. So I'm going to be contacting them, and I'll keep you all updated on the situation as we continue on with it. If you're interested in hearing what we find, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Very interesting stuff.
This is from My Lunch Break, if you haven't heard from him. Very interesting stuff.
Yet another place that has zero confirmed documentation on these construction projects all over the world. It's very strange, and this is why we are looking into it, exposing something that was hidden for far too long. But I do want to share them with you all. I found this photo from Portland, Maine, of the old City Hall. In their newspaper from 1888, they wrote that it was built in 1825 and was used in 1832. So this was going on like 200 years ago. And you can see what they're all riding around on. They were able to build these kind of structures so fast, apparently, that after 63 years, this thing was so outdated and needed to be demolished. And it's interesting because this exact story is given to us all over the USA. And in all honesty, it's all over the world.
I believe these are Moorish Tartarians. How they're wearing this red and then the airships. I'm telling you, it's a strong possibility that they're not telling us the complete truth here. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
You see, this is exactly why I have trust issues with mainstream archaeology. Every single time we uncover something interesting that doesn't fit into the official academic timeline of history, it's either mocked and labeled a con, or they do this. So in 2011, Russian cave explorer Arthur Zhemyukov made a wild discovery in the region of North Caucasus in Russia. At the top...
Did you guys hear that? The Caucasus Mountain? Weren't we just talking about a land that was called the Caucasia? We got to see where the Caucasus Mountains are. Could this be where the land of Caucasia was? Very interesting. And why did they try to get rid of it?
The region of North Caucasus in Russia. At the top of the Kara-Hora mountain range, he found something that revealed an unwritten chapter of human history. At first, it just seemed like a deep hole leading into a cave formation inside the mountain, so he decided to check it out himself, and as he went down this narrow vertical opening, he started to notice this wasn't any regular cave shaft. On his descent, he saw massive parallel stone blocks, polished flat and perfectly geometrically aligned with each other. We're talking straight edges, right angles, and intricately chiseled formations that indicated this definitely wasn't natural, it was engineered. Him and his team explored deeper and found out that this shaft was so much beyond our understanding than he ever thought. This is the Kara-Hora shaft, and I don't care what anyone says, someone, like an intelligent being, clearly made this. Inner passageways with perfectly straight, polished walls going down 40 meters into the mountain, leading into a larger chamber with 36-meter high ceilings filled with enormous megalithic slabs fitted together and arranged in perfect alignment with each other, like they were intentionally intentionally placed there, with some blocks appearing to be up to 200 tons, and nothing can explain how anyone would have moved these stone megaliths into this narrow shaft. The total distance from the very top of the shaft down to the lowest part of the explored chamber was around 100 meters, about the height of a 25-story building, and there appeared to be more tunnels and chambers below that went even deeper into the mountain, which are still undiscovered. Clearly an artificial construction of a monumental scale, an absolute groundbreaking find by any means. And as per usual, absolutely no historic records of any structure like this documented anywhere in this region. The team even filmed their exploration for a Russian TV documentary, mapping out the shaft to reveal its true detailed architecture, with block arrangements that looked incredibly similar to the ones found in the Grand Gallery of the Great Pyramid of Khufu in Egypt. It also features several tunnels that don't seem to have been designed to be accessed by humans, just like we see in the Egyptian pyramids. No ladders, stairs, or any easily accessible means of traversing many of these passageways. Even small side tunnels that no human can fit through, and oddly enough, the team felt a constant draft of air blowing up into the chamber from deeper underground, suggesting this wasn't built for habitation, but rather some sort of other functional purpose, possibly a subterranean complex of another larger structure that used to exist on top of the mountain. Perhaps the entire mountain itself was an ancient megastructure, like a pyramid that's been heavily eroded over time. What if it was, dare I say it, an ancient energy power generator, part of a system of global power plants that produced energy for an ancient advanced civilization that lived here tens of thousands of years ago, just like the Giza power plant theory suggests the pyramids of Egypt may have been. Whatever it is, it's clearly something that was built by an intelligent species, undocumented, in an absolute feat of ancient human engineering, or maybe even non-human engineering, just a theory. Above ground, the surrounding area has even more carefully sculpted stones all around it, with what appear to be machine marks all over them. Flat surfaces, straight cuts, and massive stone blocks stacked perfectly together, indicative of man-made production. But our cave explorer Arthur didn't find the shaft by accident. In fact, he was intentionally searching for it. Many ancient legends in the North Caucasus region about sprawling underground cities have been told and passed down for generations. And while researching old World War II documents written by those Germans, there was one particular topic that caught Arthur's attention: the Unexplained, a project initiated by top German commanders with the primary objective of restoring ancient occult practices and powers, who conducted operations around the world to find the most sought-after ancient relics and mystical sites that allegedly held power beyond our understanding. Expeditions for the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, the mythical underground city of Shambhala, uncovering the secrets of Antarctica. These guys were on a mission. When the Germans launched Operation Edelweiss to capture the oil-rich regions of the North Caucasus in Russia, the mountain ranges were one of the hot spots on their hit list, the assumed home of an ancient advanced civilization who left behind traces of their esoteric knowledge. Among this region was the Karahor Mountain, which they actually got really close to discovering the shaft themselves. And they even marked some of the surrounding stones with, their trademark symbol. It was through studying these old wartime documents that Arthur finally located the site, assuming there to be many, many more structures and full-blown underground cities in this mountain range, which still remains largely unexplored. In 2015, Arthur claims to have made yet another groundbreaking discovery about the shaft and the surrounding region, insisting that he gathers more resources for his expedition ASAP. And literally the next day, he gets hit by a car and passes away. Yeah, for real, I can't make this shit up. Then Viktor Chernobrov, another explorer who accompanied Arthur in many of his explorations 2 years later. Then 3 more team members involved in the expedition all abruptly pass away within that same time span. Was this just another huge coincidence, as I'm sure the debunkers are insisting it is, or did Arthur and his team find something that they weren't supposed to? Today, there isn't much information on the shaft or any explorations in the surrounding mountain range, with no new updates released about any of this for years and no plans in place to explore it further, likely out of fear of having an accident if you do. If you genuinely think this is a natural formation and nothing suspicious is going on here, go get help.
Oh my goodness, what did they find? What are they trying to hide from us exactly? Are the questions running through my mind. How come we haven't been back? We are definitely in Dark Waters 9 now.
If death cults in America piss you off, wait until you learn about America's richest family, who lived in America's largest mansion, which also has America's largest. It may look like a normal family, but did they come from a bloodline of human-alien hybrid? What's inside the secret books in their library? And what rituals took place in the secret chambers and pool beneath the mansion? Of course, we're talking about the Vanderbilts. Cornelius Vanderbilt amassed a fortune of $185 billion in today's dollars. Son, George Washington Vanderbilt, built the Biltmore Mansion, America's largest privately owned estate even to this day. I already did a video talking about the demons and weird creatures on the outside of the building. So let's move inside the mansion, where it gets even weirder. Displayed in the music room is the Triumphal Arch, or Arch of Maximilian. This single image may unlock the secrets of the Vanderbilt bloodline. At the top is the Vatican fish hat, but it's also a symbol of Dagon, god traced to the Babylonians, Philistines, and ultimately to Nimrod, who built another mansion, the Tower of Babel. Notice that this image is at the top of the tower. This is where it all begins. Next we see Prometheus's torch. Prometheus is a Greek titan who rebelled against Zeus and brought wisdom and knowledge to humans. So we're 2 images in, and we can already see that this bloodline is not of God, but something unholy. We also have the symbol of Pan, an image of fertility and fear. Then there's the hair, also a symbol of fertility and the occult. So what are the Vanderbilts saying? Does the Maximilian Arch evidence their bloodline isn't only human, but connected to intergalactic gods or aliens? Is planned breeding and eugenics used to preserve their DNA and connection to the gods? Are the coat of arms pictured the ones that they control? Let's not forget the checkerboard floor at the bottom of the arch. It's a symbol of dualism and occultism and the perverted view that good and evil have to coexist. Check out my video on if checkerboard floors are evil. I could spend hours on the arch, but let's move on to the library. The library holds 10,000 books. Hidden in a climate-controlled room, 10,000 more books off limits to the public. Is this the Vanderbilt collection of secret knowledge? Maybe a clue is the mural painted on the library's ceiling. It's an image of Aurora, the Roman goddess of light. Aurora is also famous in the book Aurora and the Philosopher's Stone, which explains how one can achieve the Philosopher's Stone, a highly sought-after object in the occult. It seems the library was less a place for casual reading, but a place to store secret knowledge, practice alchemy, explore dark magic. Perhaps the strangest place is the mansion's basement, where there's both a pool and a Halloween room. I'm not making this up. A pool, void of natural light, exists in the basement. Leave what happened there to your imagination. But visitors describe the pool room as unsettling, unnerving, and generally a bad vibe. And then there's the Halloween room. It's complete with black cats, witches, and strange soldiers. It's famous for its secret parties, and no one knows exactly what went on there. And perhaps this room summarizes the mansion best. At first glance, it appears welcoming, but every painting and sculpture points to secrets, unbridled obsessions, and occultic knowledge. If death cults in America piss you off.
Now I'm asking myself, what is the significance of the checkered floors? If you thought you weren't going to have an excellent specimen today, think again. Feast your eyes on this specimen. Oh my goodness. Kind of resembles like a pink sea lion type fish. Oh wow, look at the back. That is crazy. Or even like a flower. Yeah. Guys, I love to hear your names on this one. Drop it in the comments below. If I had to name this specimen, I would call it the amethyst flower. Yeah. Amethyst sunflower. Especially when she turned it around to the back. All right, guys, what an absolutely wild one today. This was definitely a banger. If you made it this far, the code word today is what are they hiding? When you drop what are they hiding in the comments below, that lets me know you're real when you made it all the way through the video and you really rock with your boy. And I just want to say thank you for your guys' support. I don't take this granted for a single day. I absolutely love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I just want to say thank you. And don't forget, I'm doubling up on you today. So be sure to head over to Jet Ski Chuck later on today, where we're going to do a longer video, so you don't want to miss out on any of the action. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you later.